What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Zeke Mercer, one half of the Tag Team Champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show fully vaccinated in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's episode 762 episodes talking about professionalized wrestling, and we got a fun show lined up for you tonight. I don't know. Monday is typically the airing of grievances, and so we can have the full energy and have some fun tonight. And first of all, we have with us, still grieving the departure of the Iiconics. We'll talk more about that here in the first segment, but Mad Mike is with us from Beacon, New York, the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavored letter from the WWE and a Mayhemmy. Not Mayhemmy, a Slammy. You probably got that too.
To be fair, I have both of those.
Yes, you do.
Yes, Sorg, I'm still in grieving. Still hashtag grieve mode. Grieve mode. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was. I'm wearing my second Iconic shirt.
Not the same Iconic shirt. This isn't like that time when I almost quit the show a few weeks ago.
No. This is a different Iconic shirt. I would also have the third one, but it's only in size medium left on shop, and your boy ain't fitting into a medium.
Oh, is this time? Wait.
It's not even a medium.
Is this the time to hit up like the clearance rack on the WWE shop? Perhaps.
I mean, if you want some Samoa Joe merch, probably.
Whoa, I do actually. So that might be worthwhile. So,
and if you want a Bo Leave shirt, who knows? There might be some of those left.
I do want a Bo Leave. Well, wait a minute, but there's probably not been those on there for ages. I'm gonna go poke at that a little bit. Also poking around the Mayhem, still with us back again, Ronnie Starks on the line. Ronnie, how you doing?
Hello, good evening.
Welcome back again, sir.
Thank you. Sorry I'm not in studio this evening.
That's all right. You're safe at home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything else to intro you with. Any new toys? Any new toys in the collection? Oh,
well, you're getting this next time I come in the studio.
I love. I get the cast-offs of Ronnie's toyness. Like I get the fifth turtle that he acquired.
Mona Lisa?
No, what?
No, I gave him a Raphael.
Yeah, I got Raphael hanging out in the studio.
A little
here.
too Raph, huh?
A little,
it was
too
a little too
Raph. Yes. So I don't mind it. But thank you for coming back on the show. Good to see you again, Ronnie. And
good to see you too.
So and our special guest this week. I mean, all you guys are special. Let's be honest. But BC Steele has returned to the show. How you doing, sir?
I am tremendous. My Dogecoin is up over 500%.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing higher than my Dogecoin right now is probably about 25% of the population, all of Colorado, most of California, and some of Oregon.
And soon, some of New York next year.
Nice. Well, there you go.
I'm guessing.
What better way to celebrate?
Absolutely.
There you go. Well, BC, thank you for joining us, and I'm loving, if you're not on video, he has a nice background of himself going on there. So.
To quote Terrell Owens, I love me some me.
Excellent. Well, good to have you back on here on the show.
Oh, we're already a minute in. We have a TO quote. I love this.
We're going to be talking about wrestling. We're going to be talking about our homework, Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. Sorry, Samoa Joe. Or maybe congratulations. That depends how this conversation goes and how things go for everybody else.
You summoned this.
I summoned what?
You summoned this.
Summoned
couple
Samoa Joe.
Weeks in a row of watching and making us watch Samoa Joe wrestle.
Making you watch Samoa Joe wrestle. It is a gift, sir, that the internet gives you.
Not when it's TNA.
Samoa. Okay, hold on. We're gonna hold off on that conversation because I need to get some business done. You can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can find links and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform, wherever that may be. Also, look for the Wrestling Mayhem Show super feed, and you can also drop us a line at that email address.
Good times
at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And if you ever wanted a t-shirt with an email address on it, it's over at ProWrestlingTees.com. And also drop us a line at 412-206-WMS0. Let me say that again, 412-206-WMS0. But of course, you already have that in your little address book on your phone under your ex-girlfriend's name or BC Steele.
Call us when you're drunk. Call us when you're drunk.
Absolutely. You can follow Wrestling Mayhem Show on the Facebook page and group.
Or, Sorg, call us when you're high.
Happy
It is
420.
420.
Happy
Equal
420.
opportunity. Equal opportunity here.
You got a pause for the cause, man.
Happy 420, and I gotta say, the dream is alive. Thank you, Delta 8 provision. But
And tonight we are going to count down. Tonight we are going to count down the top 4.2 moments of Snoop Dogg in wrestling.
Absolutely. What were you saying, Ronnie?
Did you say something about 420?
Hey!
Nobody
the
gets
Rob
right.
I love the Rob Van Dam in reach for that. So, is that my 420 gift? Is that why you're giving that to me?
It is.
Yes. Excellent. I love it. But we're here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook Live, on the Wrestling Mayhem Show YouTube page, and on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. And also thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Of course, made for a fantastic Patreon of the Bank and Mayhem Mania over the last several months, and we're working on some new stuff for you in the coming weeks too. Our fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! Ed Burke, Bobby F, J-Town, and Team Hammer Fist. And at the Poppy Club level, Dave Podner. At the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy and Kyle Turner. Friends at the manager level, Farnsworth Investments, Bradley Ruthers, Tina Keys, The Riz, Mad Mike, I know you're on your outs, but you're still on the list, and OccupyProWrestling.com for the most successful Patreon in the bank that we've ever had. So thank you so much. And strangely, like, less chaotic somehow. So, I mean, that was an interesting deal. And by the way, I want to give and you guys can support the show too at patreon.com, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. I want to give a quick shout out at the top of the show, and I want to make sure, I think I got all, Team Hammerfist is Jesse, correct, Mike? Like,
yeah.
I'm making my connections right.
Yeah, that's
okay.
my buddy.
Okay. So I was complaining about how I did not get a sticker for my vaccination shot. I also never get I also have never seen an I voted sticker in about 20 years since I moved down to Pittsburgh. So I just like said, hey, got my second shot, no sticker, still no sticker. And Jesse over at Fully Gimmicked, I'm going to give the plug over to Fully Gimmicked. You can actually find this design, but he actually is going to be sending me a sticker. A vaccination sticker of his own design. Oh, wait, you got one over there. Look at that. Vaccinate New York. I got vaccinated. What the hell?
Bam. And I'm just, the refraction period is so close to being done. I am ready to lick strangers.
Oh, yeah. I said in about 2 weeks. Listen. I'm just under the wire my trip to Arizona for the 2 weeks. But when I come back, it's going to be a Sorg hug tour going on. But, Mike, I got to show you this sticker here. This is the vaccination sticker that I'm getting sent.
That's awesome, dude.
It is, if you're not seeing it, it's the most fucking rock and roll skeleton rocker with a giant syringe going on over
there. This is just a general PSA. If anyone, anywhere, pro wrestler, otherwise, if you need something drawn or done, contact Jesse.
Dude, he's got some great stuff.
And
you can get that design on T-shirts and a face mask. So it's called
I need that fucking face mask.
Yeah, it's called...
That face mask is metal.
Can you send me that link to that,
It is fullygimmicked.com, right on the front page, right front and center over there. And there's also wrestling stuff. So,
and I've said this before. Jesse has made me shirts based on my e-fitting wrestling gimmick.
Yes.
I have 2 different shirts.
Gimmicks.
There you go. So we're going to get you some business there. So, no, I'm very excited for that. No, I just wanted I got Vax one so I can throw it on like my bag or my case or something when I'm out, doing events and I just want
I'm going to get tattooed to my fucking forehead.
Okay, maybe not do that. Maybe not do that, but just to make other people feel better. Like, listen, I am not a threat. I am not a threat to you.
I am not a threat.
My life's work is just to make people are not afraid of me. Okay, so
just in case you guys need verification, I'm ordering it right now.
There he is. There he goes. There he goes. Nice. Already that's paid off. Already we paid for the shipping of that sticker. So fantastic. And I didn't see I don't know if he's doing something different with the stickers or it's a different site or something. But no, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that. So we talked about there's something happening backstage on NXT. I'm trying to figure that out too. But jeez. The love story that is Indi, Hartwell, and
Hashtag index.
Dexter Lumis is fantastic. they had another moment during his match with LA Knight tonight, where they like the hands touch through the glass in the cage. Like in prison, and then they slide down because it's the side of the NXT arena where like it opens up, right? Like on that camera side, like the hard cam, like set side. So they go to that, and then she trips, and then stands right back up, and then they're just like staring at each other in the eyes. It's just, it is certainly the greatest love story.
I have to say this: when Indi Hartwell first joined the Way.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, really? We're doing this? Like, Indi Hartwell is like nothing to nobody. And my word, she is a delight.
And the other dude, like, nobody cared about him either, but he's hilarious in that group.
Well,
right? Like,
he should probably not work for the company.
But
that's
okay.
another.
Otherwise aside, like, you throw it in with Candice and Johnny Gargano, like, it's just magic happens. If anybody's gonna like make somebody work, it's gonna be Johnny Gargano, right? So, but it's really freaking awesome.
Johnny Gargano literally got a wheel over.
He did get a wheel over. He did.
It should be a rule: if you get over an inanimate object, you should automatically be put into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate.
Wait, is there more for consideration here that got over in like
Perry Saturn and Moppy?
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Does Moppy also get submitted?
No, absolutely.
No.
Chavo and Pepe.
Yeah,
Pepe, absolutely.
There you go.
I've seen some guys that have pretty much inanimate objects with them at ringside, but that's more of a fifth ring post than anything else.
Dean Ambrose and Floyd. The plant.
Oh, yeah.
The potted plants.
Potted plant.
Okay. Wow, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. I mean, Bray Wyatt has gotten numerous inanimate objects over. He got a rocking chair over, for fuck's sake.
Right. So, others that maybe are a little further away from the Hall of Fame. We last Wednesday we had another Black Wednesday of sorts. We had 10 released superstars. Only WWE. Like, it didn't seem like there was a lot of NXT stars on this one, which seems crazy because it feels like there's so much talent in NXT, and that would be rife to fill the AEW dark spots. So we had 10 wrestlers: Samoa Joe, Billy Kay, Peyton Royce. Sorry, Mike. Yeah.
Still hurts.
Mickey James, Chelsea Green, Tucker, Kalisto, Bo Dallas, Mojo Rawley, and Wesley Blake all let go. The surprises, I think, are between the Iconics, who, Billy Kay's been everywhere with her resume thing.
Not get Billy Kay.
So you're referring to the supposed news rumor. I'm going to label it as something like that, of Kevin Dunn not getting Billy Kay and why she's funny, and therefore not using that.
And if this rumor is true, this is also the person who thought Becky Lynch shouldn't talk because of her accent. How'd that fucking work out?
I sense
you gotta
a lot
be
of
joking me.
We're going to need a therapy session for Mad Mike, and rightfully so. I will say, I don't think you should have somebody that far away from the age of what is quote unquote cool making decisions about what should be on your TV that's supposed to be cool for a certain demographic. I mean, I'm 37 and I couldn't tell you what's cool to people that are 20, 21, 22. So I think you need a voice in the room that kind of has that understanding. And I don't think they have that, because I thought the Iconics and Chelsea Green were money. I know Chelsea Green was hurt and all that, but when I look at her, I see somebody has something different and something that I really can't put my finger on. And I even get that with Billy Kay and Peyton Royce as well.
Like Chelsea, I feel Chelsea was just a lot of bad luck.
True.
I feel that was just a lot of bad luck and bad circumstance, and the fact that her boyfriend is in another company, or fiance is in another company.
Who was let go a year ago.
Yeah,
So
who was
I mean,
let go? But I mean, like, I have a feeling this isn't the last we've seen of Chelsea Green in WWE.
to be clear,
I have a feeling.
No. All these. I can see any of these going somewhere else, getting more of a platform, and then coming back again. Absolutely. Of the four I'm going to say the top four of these are Joe and the three women that we're just talking about. So like absolutely. So
I mean, as much as we're surprised by Joe, if Joe wanted to wrestle, and they didn't want him to, or they didn't want to attempt to clear him, that makes sense to me. It makes sense. It sucks.
Yeah. If it's a
but
long,
it makes sense.
If it's a
It's
long
like,
haul, if he still had like another 9 months.
Situation of Christian.
Yeah.
And even the same and similar situation with the Macho Man back in the day. Like Savage wanted to wrestle, Vince wanted him on commentary because he was good on commentary. And guess what? Joe is very good on commentary. Like, you know, I wonder if he was shitty, if this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if he was shitty on commentary, maybe they're like, yeah, go back in the ring. Go back in the ring.
And maybe just how has he been used? You know, he got hurt on a commercial, which that may be biting too. But like, I went and did this commercial when I got hurt. Like, you know, what are the circumstances there? Was it just a freak thing? Was it something was unsafe on the set? You know,
I'll say this: Lita got hurt on the set of Dark Angel.
Yeah,
Lita got hurt doing a TV show.
Yep.
Came back, did commentary for Heat.
Yep.
Eventually got back to the ring.
Yeah.
So
yeah, especially when you're doing something like that, I'm hoping they kind of give you a little bit of slack on that. Be like, hey, you were doing a thing for us, you know, kind of thing.
I mean, hell, you could even have Joe do 6 months on the Indies, and he come back in Royal Rumble 2022 as a big surprise and win the fucking thing.
Absolutely.
And then, all right, hold on. I'm gonna fancy book this for a hot second because I just thought of it. Samoa Joe does the whole Daniel Bryan getting fired thing. He does King of the Indies, whatever. Does some New Japan, does some AEW. You know, doesn't get signed anywhere, but you know, does all the big shows he can. Gets you a Kenny Omega match, whatever. He comes back, wins the 2022 Royal Rumble, and goes against another Samoan named Joe.
You're saying this is the long tail.
It could be.
So you're saying
why the hell not?
We do this thing. I mean, the obvious openness with the Chris Jericho interview. I did get a chance to finish that last week. It's like there's a little bit of a welcoming of the forbidden door, and this is just how they navigate it. And right off of Matt, I have the fantasy matches of Kenny Omega. He drops in there and maybe he challenges him for the championship. It could be a pay-per-view. And then goes and I don't know, fights Ito or Suzuki.
Honestly, if he went to AEW, Kenny Omega is not my fantasy match for him though.
No. Who's your fantasy match over there?
Brian Cage and Samoa Joe.
Ooh.
Yes and please.
Ooh.
That's my fantasy match.
And
that's a big hoss match.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And I want to say this: I don't think Brian Cage has been appropriately featured on that show.
There's been a lot of people that haven't been appropriately featured.
There's a lot of room. There's a lot of room on there, but I think he's definitely one that could definitely benefit from a good feature match. That was like, oh wait, what can Brian Cage do again?
Imagine Samoa Joe with a run as the FTW champion.
Oh jeez. Oh.
You want to talk second coming of Taz?
Oh man,
Jesus, it writes itself.
There's already enough of Taz saying you're stealing my gimmick, bro. When everybody like remotely wears orange. But like Joe with the towel and everything, and be like,
Joe would come out in all orange.
He said something. I forget who he was talking to. He's like, "Hey, my old friend the Tasmaniac isn't gonna like you're stealing his gimmick, bro." Like in a promo he was doing. It was like, it's just again.
Taz knows he didn't invent the color orange, right?
No, but Team Taz thinks that he copyrighted the color orange, and he gets really upset about it. It's
he should really get mad at Orange Cassidy.
Right. Well, he does actually a little bit.
There's a story from I don't know if it was Edge or Christian, but I think it was on a podcast. They sent a tape to Heyman in like 96, 97. And the story they heard, and as wrestling stories go, they probably heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody who then heard it from somebody, But the story they heard was that Taz saw one of them wearing orange and just completely disregarded them. Don't know if it's true. I mean, wrestling stories normally have about 10% truth to them anyway.
So
but
this is something that is like a rumored thing that he's just he just went off on. So like, which is great, especially if that's a rumor, right? So
I love it. I will say for a lot of guys that sometimes the argument is they don't take themselves seriously. I mean, I guess you could say Taz went to the other side of that, but at least 15-year-old me in 1998, you couldn't have told me that he wasn't a badass. Like I would believe that he was the baddest dude in the world at that point. And then you find out, okay, well, he's not really the MMA guy or the UFC fighter or what have you. But I mean, I give him credit for sticking to it.
Yeah. I mean, and converting to what he has on commentary, you know, it's actually. I mean, he's I don't want to say one of the best, but he's, you know, very good at commentary for being like that character, former wrestler kind of thing, you know, and that he's carried that for 20 years and he's still going is actually impressive too. So
that's true. It's a weird transition because you have to go from focusing on yourself and putting yourself over to then putting over other people.
Yeah.
Which in a sense you can kind of use what you do for yourself and just change the name. But it's nice to see somebody actually make that transition. And I think another one, just talking about guys that were injured and had to make another decision about what path they were going to go down, would be Corey Graves. I personally liked him in NXT a little more, but it's hard being a 3-man booth. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So
and for whatever you think of, like he's certainly like he obviously has his own kind of, you know, pinch on things, his own personality on things, but he's also adapting into that WWE style. Like he's fit into the mold. You know, he's fit that Corey Graves persona into what WWE requires, right?
The longer people spend on time with on commentary with Michael Cole, the more like Michael Cole they become, which is a good thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing because it kind of takes away their individuality a little bit, but not completely.
Right, and WWE is a machine, right? And WWE has their way, and that's why these, let's say, peculiar characters like the Iconics don't always fit in, right? It's a persona, it's a company culture, it's all that kind of stuff. I've mentioned that multiple times on this show. And I'll say, you know, referring back to the Kevin Dunn and even the Vince McMahon comments we have from time to time, it is hard to tell the people that whose minds created a multi-million-dollar company, billion company,
a very stock price,
a very big company over the last 40 years. To what was to what is now. It's hard to tell those people that they're wrong at that level. But and that's why you like there's always kind of a certain shelf life to companies like this, right? Because they'll get to the point and not be able to see the next step because all they see is everything they did right in the past. So, but you know, the smart ones will, you know, hey, letting Triple H go do NXT, and that's obviously, you know, somebody was saying on one of the comments about how it's too loud for them. It's like, yeah, it's the heavy metal show of WWE and has a different feel to it, right? So, and that is allowed to be, I think, mostly hands off by those producers. There's no Kevin Dunn involved in that I'm aware of. You know, I don't think Vince does much. You know, you don't see the fingerprints at least until they yank somebody up to Raw.
There's no way he knows that someone is on NXT with a dog right now.
That's very possible. Very possible. Who has already been trying to be shoved up somebody's ass, and then tonight we just found out that EO likes cats. So,
and there's your big feud: cats versus dogs.
Yeah,
I mean, EO liking cats. I don't think we needed to be told that.
No. Or that there's multiple champions that generally need to be subtitled. I don't think that's something, you know, Asuka is, of course, allowed to just, you know, Asuka all over the place. But I think that's because they just think, like, her yelling in Japanese is funny. But like, there's serious, like...
When it really should be threatening.
It really should be threatening. Yeah.
Like it was in NXT.
No, absolutely. Like, Asuka's become an over-accentuated comical character almost, no matter how badass she's trying to be. That's just how she's presented now, which is
My
unfortunate.
mind went all over the place when you said Asuka and all over the place. So like, I was just like wait, what?
When she
When was
goes
the last
out
time
there,
you Oscar'd all over the place, Ronnie?
Yeah, oh, jeez. I'm not even gonna. I was gonna make a really bad joke, but I stopped myself in the process. I was like, you know what? I'm just calling it.
Hopefully, we're on 7-second delay. This is gonna.
Everybody's had that awkward rookie year, right?
Light bulb.
But no, okay, let's look at it a year ago. A lot of people were let go around the same time last year. Rusev, Ryder. I think Brian Myers was let go. No, Brian Myers, I think it was already let go before then because he may have already been an Impact. I could be wrong. But what's your report card for people that were let go a year ago at this point? Let's start with Rusev. While you can argue about what he's been doing, he's gone to a significant point, I think, in AEW, and they're positioning him for going for titles now. That I think he's somebody that's worked out for the most part.
He's the best man.
He is the best man.
I would agree. When he first came in, not the role that I would have seen, but I mean, I'm not running $1 million company, so. But I think it's been better than what he was doing, a lot better than what he had been doing on WWE TV.
It was the same that he was doing. He was involved in someone else who had a blonde wife and was in a wedding.
That's true, but it wasn't his wife.
It wasn't his wife, and it wasn't as terrible as what WWE was doing.
It was still not great.
It was entertaining.
I'm gonna say this right now.
I love weddings.
I'm gonna say this right now, and history might prove me wrong. Rusev is to AEW what Bret Hart was to WCW.
No.
Yep.
No.
I'm gonna say it right now. It's someone that came in hot fire, and then they just completely don't know what to do with
I don't think he came anywhere near hot fire.
Sir.
You're talking about you're talking about Bret Hart, who came off of being like the WWE champion. You're talking about Rusev that came off of being like a stupid cuck storyline.
Yes,
that made no sense.
Rusev that debuted when there was a full fan crowd.
Yeah.
And to a monster pop, and then they did nothing with it.
What do you mean? Well, no. He didn't debut. He didn't debut with fans at AEW.
AEW always has fans.
No, not
AEW always has fans.
Not actual. They haven't had actual. No.
Yes, they have. They've had actual fans this whole time. They've had people in the stands cheering.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
they had a close set with wrestlers as the audience for the longest time.
Past month and a half, they've had fans.
Yeah.
Florida
they've had fans for longer than that.
Oh, it's been like a month and a half, bro.
No, it's been much longer.
No, they've been selling tickets since like
February.
Like November-ish.
It was before that.
But Rusev was not in the fan crowd when he it was fully empty arena. But let's get off of that.
Like he came in and they made a huge deal of it. And then they completely shuffled him to a D-level storyline. They shuffled him to a D-level storyline.
I think we have disagreed on the level of storylines that are happening at AEW. Ronnie BC, what is your take on Rusev over there?
I don't think it definitely for my taste wasn't an A+. I don't know if I'd say D.
No.
I'll give it like a B-. I will say that he seems to be happier, and I think you normally get a little bit better out of your talent when they're happy. I'm interested to see kind of where he goes now, because there's 3 levels of comedy in wrestling. There is like 3rd grade, even less, like 5-year-old, somebody says poop and everybody laughs. And that's normally like, okay, it's cheap. It's not really funny. It's more like head shaking. Then there's sophomoric, which is like, wow, this is immature. You should know better type comedy. And then there's quote unquote highbrow. and that can work. So I kind of saw Rusev as he was doing low-level kind of weird comedy, and then that got really, really over by just saying the same thing. It's Rusev Day constantly, and it got over. And then he started doing the stuff with Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian, and that was, I don't know exactly what kind of comedy that was. And that made me kind of lose my train of thought. Like, I know what it was supposed to be, and then it kind of morphed into something where he is a little bit more serious. And it's interesting because he was doing it with Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends, that are kind of a comedic tag team gimmicky type thing, but he can be that guy that's like the brute that will kill you.
Yeah.
So going forward, I think if you're going to build him, it needs to be like, okay, yeah, he did comedy, but he said more or less his declaration that he's kind of his own man type thing now.
Yeah.
And he's focusing on championships and focusing on who he is and da-da-da-da. So I guess that kind of makes him a heel, and heel Rusev is way, way different than Rusev Day, which made him a babyface. So it's kind of like starting over from scratch in a way.
Absolutely.
That was a really long way just to say they're starting over from scratch.
I feel like if he's not TNT champion in 2 months, then they're not doing what they
I think
should be doing.
he's at least in contention. I don't think he necessarily needs to be the champion. I think he's a good mountain to overcome for Darby. You know,
no, I don't.
like Darby.
At some point, heels need to win.
At some point, the heels need to win, but in the meantime, like in the short term, if he pops up and is another monster that Darby overcomes, then you know that's what they're doing with him right now. So,
Yeah, but if that's the case, then that's just what he was doing in WWE.
well, yeah, it ebbs and flows, Mike. Ronnie?
I mean, I love comedy wrestling,
Yeah,
but I don't know. They need to do something more with them.
yeah.
Because I feel
absolutely.
bad that they're not doing anything with them.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see where they build him up from here. They've already made the shift, so we'll see. You know,
We'll see how it plays out, Sorg.
He'll have a week where he destroys some jobbers the entire week of Dark, going into a big match, and
It'll be fun.
And that seems to be the pattern. It's just like, hey, we want you to pay attention to this guy. Here's like 3 matches in a row this week, which is interesting.
I will say, if he's going to do something with Darby out the gate, granted, fantasy booking, he has to murder him and not put him in the ground, but he has to have the whole dug and getting ready to put him in the ground. Last rites has been given, and then Darby, I don't know, ascends into heaven and becomes all white Darby Allin or something. I have no. I'm kidding. That's not my fantasy booking. God no.
What is that?
Darby the White.
Yes,
Be the white.
He's like Gandalf.
I knew what you were going for.
I was like, the more I talk, the more this is probably gonna get me put on a list somewhere.
But of course, of course, we have Darby kind of tied up with like Sting and whoever is mad at Sting this week. So for existing, I guess, which includes Mad Mike. Let's see who else. So Zack Ryder. I mean, the Ryder and or Matt Cardona and Myers.
Well, they weren't part of this.
What?
They weren't part of. That was last year.
We're talking about last year.
Rusev
is last year. We're checking in on the people that were like a year ago.
Okay.
So I mean, they obviously went to Impact. Matt did like a quick thing with AEW, and things work out or they don't, I guess. But you know, obviously they've really sunk into the action figure podcast and doing really well with that. So I mean, they were able to go create their own brand, at least, and that's turned into something probably worthwhile for everybody.
If there's a guy who knows how to create his own stuff and create something out of nothing, it's definitely Zack Ryder. Matt Cardona now.
Yeah. And of course, Myers still has the Creator Wrestler School up in New York that's been turning out some fantastic talent, including some Bear Country that popped up in AEW, who I didn't realize I'd actually seen at AIW not too long ago too. So, I mean, obviously he's out there doing his thing and producing talent. I mean, these guys got multiple irons in the fire. You know, they're, already did. Myers had a school before he came back to WWE. He came back just to be enhancement talent, basically, at that point. So, like, by design. So, whatever helps out. I can't remember who else was like a year ago that were a big surprise. I mean, I know there was a lot of them, but those are the ones that really stick out for me.
There were a lot of people that were part of the the Me Too movement and stuff like that. Like a lot of the big assholes from UK
Okay.
let go. And as far as I know, most of them still aren't doing things, which is good.
Oh, Heath Slater got released too.
Heath Slater. He was doing Impact. He's not active on Impact now.
He's injured.
He's hurt.
Oh, okay, that's why.
He's
Okay,
injured.
so he kind of okay. I'm trying to.
I
Find,
actually have a list here somewhere.
yeah, I'm looking for it too, but I keep finding Black
Here we go.
Friday sales.
Zack Ryder, Rusev, obviously, Eric Rowan.
Yeah, I'm still surprised AEW didn't pick him up. I'm surprised and make him part of the Dark Order, especially after what happened with
He did pop up, so and maybe there was a plan to, and the death kiboshed it, and that maybe they didn't feel right having him be a part of it. I mean, especially they're doing so much with -1 right now. Maybe he took the heat.
That kid's gold, by the way. I don't care what
It's
anybody
great.
says.
That kid. What did I say? Did I say it on the show last night? That kid's gonna marry Ty Conte in 20 years.
oh no, Sorg.
I bet it's
Yeah.
going to be a wedding on
No.
TNT.
It absolutely is.
Oh.
Absolutely. Alex Riley. Wait, what year is this? This is Black Friday from a different. This is sorry.
Alex Riley.
I'm like last year. Apparently, we lost Hornswoggle, Zeb Coulter, El Torito. No, this isn't right.
That's the year before that.
Wrong.
Wow,
Black
the big
Friday.
name, Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle was let go. But also, like Mickey James was just let go. That was just a hey,
Well,
We're
remember
gonna-
Drake Maverick was part of it last year, but
right?
They changed their
EC3.
mind.
that
He-
well,
EC3?
he took less money.
Yeah. Oh, EC3 was let go. He was doing his big debut in ROH in December. Got COVIDed out of it, and then more recently popped up. I can't say he's doing memorable stuff right now. I know he's doing a lot more kind of on his own brand thing. But
All right, Sorg, I got the rest of the list.
okay.
The Good Brothers, they seem to be doing fine.
They seem to be doing fine for themselves. Yes.
You know, I mean, it's fine. Mike Chioda seems to be doing fine.
Where's he at? Where do you end up?
He's in AEW.
Is he AEW ref?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah Logan, who just had a baby, so you know,
Oh yeah.
good for her.
I need to catch up on that blog.
Yeah. Mike Kanellis,
Okay.
who is a lovely man. I don't know what he's doing.
He is. I know he's been doing seminars. I follow his Twitter account. And
Okay.
he has been involved with Ring of Honor. He's been involved in the storyline with Taven and they reformed the kingdom and the former
So
kingdom.
Maria's there too. Presumably?
Well, Maria has been there something of the ROH Experience ambassador that they've been doing. So they're involved. They're doing something
Okay,
active
good.
with Ring of Honor. So there's and I believe Maria also was introducing the new women's tournament, if I'm not
Oh, cool.
mistaken.
Okay.
So they're very active.
Honestly, you know who should go to ROH? Mickey fucking James.
That could be fun.
I think Mickey James would kill it in ROH.
That could be fun. They got an announcement coming up for the women's division Wednesday night.
Yeah,
Maybe.
like if they're having a women's tournament, Mickey James would kill it in ROH.
Mickey's another one that they were doing the kickoff shows for Stand and Deliver were Mickey James on commentary. So like there's another one that was like involved.
I think that's an ageism thing with Mickey James.
Okay.
I think someone there thinks she's too old when I'm like, she's still Mickey James.
Somebody who doesn't get Billy Kay, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they really don't. Yeah. It was like
Yeah.
look at her. She's an old legend. And it's like that girl's 35. What's
I'm
happening?
like, I'm older than Mickey James.
I don't
and
think-
last time I saw, she can still kick Oscar right in the face.
Yo, yeah. There's definitely an issue with that kind of stuff. Okay.
Then we had No Way Jose.
Oh,
I don't know if he's shown up anywhere.
he might have done an Impact thing and nobody cared.
Okay. Aiden English, who is doing a podcast, I think.
Okay.
Doing a podcast. Leo Rush, who's all over the place.
Yeah. He's on like, I think he's one of those on 3 promotions in one night.
Yeah.
So
I think Aiden English and Gotch just were on Impact or on NXT.
what?
They did a tag match.
On NXT?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
You sure that wasn't Breezango when they were dressed up as British dudes earlier tonight?
Fuck if I know. I don't even know anymore.
I don't think Simon Gotch would return to NXT based on the way he left.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good. That was a good deal.
He did not leave under the best terms.
No.
And the last two I see on here are Primo and Epico.
That's a loss.
That's a loss. They brought back Carlito for like 3 weeks.
We're sorry, Eamon, that your doppelganger has not.
Yes. But again, I think they probably have a foundation in Puerto Rico with their father's fed or something, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like they don't have things to do. So, and it may have been they left to take over. You know, they maybe pass the torch down there. I don't know. Well, talking about the past and the people that have had the big ticket opportunity, but how about talking about the future of professional wrestling on IndieWrestling.us and the Indie Wrestling Network? New content. Like new content. Like we filmed something this weekend and you can watch it now. Like I miss this feeling of having something new to talk about. Our friends at Prospect Pro Wrestling returned in front of fans, not a cow pasture where they did things like hit somebody with a car. But no, in front of fans over at Freeport, Pennsylvania. They presented Dime Time. It was a return of the Gambino brothers in action, and as a reunion, and of course just all the stars, you know, friends of the show like Zeke Mercer, like Zack Ryder in action, Mambo Italiano in action. I know there's a face you've probably seen on, I don't know, all the feds, NXT especially, from time to time, and also associate of yours BC. So a lot of great stuff on there. It was good to get again in front of fans. The energy was great. New names to check out. This Anthony Young is featured on this in a 3-way. He's pretty great. Tito Oric is a part of this. He is somebody to look out for. The Bosnian Bone Breaker. And you know what I didn't know before this show? After the crowd erupted, Bosnia is over in Freeport, Pennsylvania. I can't find it on a map, but I guess we're good. I also don't know where Lebanon is, so sorry, Joey Moses.
Bosnia is near Herzegovina.
Okay.
Now you know.
I don't even know if that's real countries. Is that where near Kazakhstan? Which is
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Kazakh.
It's the greatest country in the world.
Sorg, it's across from Italy.
Oh.
It's across the sea from
okay.
Italy.
All right. Either way, good stuff to check out there. Old favorites like Super Hentai, Dennis Gregory, a part of that. So a lot of fun. Go see it as part of your subscription over IndieWrestling.network. DVD pre-orders are up. The DVDs should be produced, I think, in the next couple of days, and sent out, hopefully. And I don't know. That's not my department. I just pass that on to the other department. But the VODs, digital downloads, all are up there. So it was a great time. It was great to see a lot of old friends in the wrestling setting again. So it feels like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and there's wrestling in Pennsylvania, and it's pretty good to see. So I understand that you guys have been having a conversation on Twitter about the Mighty Ducks. So I guess this is sort of an intervention. I don't even know what the conversation has been about with the Mighty Ducks, but I know it's heated.
It's all Ronnie Starks' fault, first and foremost.
Okay.
He posted that he was watching the Mighty Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mighty Ducks, for those that don't know, along with Angels in the Outfield, is the greatest sports movies of all time. You've got such a legendary trilogy, and it just kind of went from there. And I feel that Mad Mike and I have a kinship now, a bond, if you will. A brotherhood of District 5. That's a deep cut.
You know, I'm just gonna say.
Wait a minute. When did that happen?
So, yeah, he just threw that jersey on.
Yeah, Quack Attack is back, Jack.
Oh, BC, please have a jersey. That's all I ask.
I'm gonna say this. I saw the Twitter conversation happening, and I have long had my power rankings for Mighty Ducks players. And, you know, I asked BC for his rankings, and he and I vehemently disagreed. Sorg, I have a quick question for you. Sorg, have you seen the Mighty Ducks movies?
I have seen all 3 of the Mighty Ducks movies. I have not watched the new show. But I'm going to say that it has been years since I've watched these movies.
Well, it's time to watch them again, buddy.
Like, I'm pretty sure I rented them on VHS.
Wow. Okay. Well, they're all on Disney Plus.
Of course.
But
I do have
feel like
I do have a
some of
question.
these be
I do have a
shown.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Is the animated series canon?
No.
No. Those were-
Animated series, just we're gonna.
I mean, there were no animated ducks in the movie, Sorg. So
yeah,
it's
Sorg, those were
not
actual.
canon.
Those were actual ducks in the cartoon.
Okay, I didn't know if like
no ducks were harmed in the making of those movies.
I didn't know if there was like an accident in like D4 that I wasn't aware of, where like all the kids like mutated or something. Because I mean that was
D4,
popular.
The Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah, D4, The Secret of the Ooze.
Now we're mixing our animals. But
yeah, I thought you misspoke and meant D5 for District 5, but you know.
No, but they should have gone to that, shouldn't they?
That's really punny.
Thank you.
which was redrawn for those of you that are wondering.
Oh,
That is why Adam Banks, the greatest player of all time.
Now, did Banksy, since they redrew, he could have went back to play for them.
Well,
If
that
he
is
wanted
true,
to.
but
But he never did.
Well, that's because his heart was taken over by the Ducks. They embraced it.
By the way, if you're on audio, BC Steele now has his Ducks jersey on.
That's true. Mr. Gordon Bombay, by the way, the
Yeah,
closer to the Minnesota Miracle Man than Charlie Conway.
All right, you know what? I'm wearing a jersey of an actual player. Thank you very much. You got the coach's jersey.
That's why
Ooh.
there's a
Wait,
C there.
Are you also wearing Air Bombay loafers? Huh?
Maybe. And I could also blow a .12 if I had a breathalyzer like Bombay. So there. No, that part is not the case.
Hey,
But
breath
I
or
have a
urine, or you're full.
I have a question. Can you also hit 3 pipes and the crossbar against Wolf the Dennis Stanson?
I could probably do 1 out of 5.
Okay.
Just like my hero Fulton, who is also, by the way, a better player than Charlie Conway.
Yeah, no. Charlie Conway's not the issue here. Like, I admit, he's not the best player. He just happens to be the person whose jersey I have. My issue, sir, is Luis Mendoza. Mendoza.
You mean the man that's more concerned with women than he is actually being a good hockey player?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe.
The man, also, if I may, sir, who was more concerned about looking up girls' skirts at Eden Hall Academy than practice.
Yes, Luis Mendoza is the worst player in all of the Mighty Ducks.
Does this movie hold up in 2021?
No. Can we also point out that he broke the fourth wall and looked at the camera and went, "Yeah."
Well,
When he was
all
looking
right.
up those
To be
skirts.
fair, yeah, that's not what you want.
That's why he's 9 on my list. I agree.
He doesn't even deserve to make top 10.
Oh, I mean, you
Doesn't
can't
deserve to make top
put Ken Wu. Let's be honest. That's where it is. It's Luis Mendoza against Ken Wu. I think.
No, I'm sorry. You had Goldberg below Luis Mendoza, a man who does not know how to stop skating forward.
He knew how to
doesn't.
stop.
No, he doesn't. He's only done it twice.
I gotta also say, I also don't know how to stop when I'm skating.
Sorg, you are not a professional hockey player.
But I am a professional podcaster.
Yes, but you know how to stop podcasting.
You would think that. No, you wouldn't think that knowing how long these shows go.
Well, all right. But you know how to stop once we get to a certain point. You know how to pivot to an
I know
ad.
how to stop when the card is full.
Hey, some wrestling promotions don't know how to stop when the card is full. So.
Oh, you beat me to it. Shit.
Look, Goldberg on defense, absolutely. I'll give him that number 11 spot
Okay, all right.
for what he did on defense.
Hold on. I have your list. I have your list from
Goldberg should have went back to Philly.
Where he belongs.
You have
with the rest of the trash.
You have Luis Mendoza above Portman.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Mighty Ducks, talented though they may be, they were not big on defense, and Portman was the answer for defense in two of the 3 movies. Without Portman, they would not have beaten Iceland. Without Portman, they would not have beaten the Varsity.
No, they would have definitely beaten the Varsity. Portman came in and got it's like watching Evgeny Malkin get a penalty at the most inopportune time. That's what Dean Portman...
And I'm sorry, is Evgeny Malkin not one of the greatest hockey players in the history of the sport?
He absolutely is.
That's what I'm saying.
Portman is not anywhere near the offensive firepower. Name 2 offensive
He's a
moments.
defensive player.
I need offense. I mean, the Ducks, let's face it, until Coach Orion, what did the Ducks ever do on defense?
Name, all right, has Luis scored more on or off the ice in the movies?
Well,
there's your answer.
Your
answer.
To be fair, we never saw off the ice. That would make it a much different topic.
Well, at the end of the movie, we saw technically off the ice because he was just like, "Oh, it was our little secret."
Yeah. He's also a prick.
This is also true.
He's also a prick. I'm sorry. That bumps him all the way down to the bottom of my list. Charlie, not the best player, I'll grant you, but he's the glue on the team.
Look, the only reason Charlie was the glue of the team and he was the captain because Bombay was fucking his mom.
That's true.
Yeah, but that was in the first movie. That was in the first movie.
And
Bombay, no, they were not banging in the second movie.
No, she had been remarried by the third one.
Yeah,
Bombay
Bombay was trying to bang the Iceland chick in the second movie.
And now he's trying to bang this mom in this TV show.
And Bombay also tried to bang the tutor. Let's not get it twisted. Gordon Bombay was a Dick Slayer.
What?
He's Slayer, bro, not Dick Slayer.
I don't think that means what you think that means.
Yes, it does.
All right.
No, he just like you said, Gordon Bombay was Dick Slater. I got it.
Now I do need to go back and watch all these movies with this context. Right?
You got on mute because I'm laughing so hard.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Not only are the Mighty Ducks the greatest movie of all time, but it's like, imagine having that movie and then shortly thereafter or before, because I don't remember how time works, getting Angels in the Outfield. I don't have an Angels in the Outfield.
All right, okay. Angels in the Outfield sucks.
Okay. Hold on. Whoa. Neil McDonough, Adrian Brody, Matthew McConaughey, Danny Glover, Tony Danza, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Some guy who's old was in a bunch of westerns that died, whose name I can't remember. J.O. Sanders. I mean,
what a big name! What a big name that guy is.
Yeah, he was an old guy from a western. But he's fucking dead now, so it's fine.
Who is he? Cal Brony?
The only reason I know who that guy is watching the movie one day. My grandfather goes, "Oh, is that so and so?" And I go, "Yeah." And my grandfather goes, "Well, he looks like shit," and just kept on walking. So that's all I know about the guy.
So you don't really know anything about him.
I know he was a person.
Well, on that note, we do have a run-in happening on the show right now.
Yes, we do.
We do have a special guest that's popped up.
Hey.
Dutter,
finally a champion on this show.
Dutters.
Finally a fucking champion.
The only champion on this show. Well, I guess
your music.
I guess Ronnie technically is still tag champ, but right, Ronnie?
Yeah.
The first women's champion on the show.
Yeah.
Dutters is a real champion. She defeated cancer. Goddammit.
That's right. No, so Katie's popping in because you had a little bit of a wrestling moment this past weekend.
Yeah, I have random wrestling moments, and this was the biggest one, I think. Besides meeting BC Steele for the first time, of course. That was.
Oh, yeah.
Katie,
remember that for the rest of your life.
Katie, you don't have to kiss his ass. He's been so wrong on this whole episode.
Don't listen. Mad Mike is the Ken Wu of this show.
I gotta wonder.
So you mean I'm incredibly talented and could make the Olympics? Yes, thank you very much. I'll take that compliment.
Poor Katie, who was like, "Can I pop into the wrestling show?" Pops in and sees you guys in Mighty Ducks jerseys talking about the movies. No, not even that. Talking about Angels in the Outfield when she popped in. You must be so confused right now.
Rookie of the Year was a better movie than Angels in the Outfield. Just want to throw that out there. But
well,
Katie, please.
Katie, save us. Katie, save us. Katie, save us.
I don't know if I want to. I'm just going to run away.
But anyways, you had a wrestling moment this week.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
I had a wrestling moment this past weekend.
Yes. What happened?
I went to my first 2PW show.
That was your first ever?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think that was my first ever one. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to one. It was my first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So went to the 2PW show, was super excited about the show, obviously, because I was excited to go back to wrestling and see friends and normalcy of some sort, which was fantastic. Go to the show, meet, hang out with folks beforehand and do our usual, hang out with the production team. I, wander around, maybe give a cord to Sorg or something. Nothing exciting, obviously. And so before the show starts, Missy's like, "Oh, let's go sit over here," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And we go sit on a bench behind the team, and like, "Okay, we'll watch from here," which was a little. I was like, "We're a little out there, but that's okay." She's like, "Oh, we want to keep you away from everyone." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So we're watching, and Marshall Gambino calls out all the wrestlers from the back and says, "Hey, come on out, everybody come out," and they line up around the ring, and he starts saying, how grateful he is to the fans that they all came back, the fans came back, and for being patient with this whole, virus thing. I just throw my hands in the air at this whole thing happening, and appreciate everybody and appreciate the wrestlers and everything. And then he's like, and then Dutters. And I'm like, what? So I was like, my name?
You can hear it on the video. You just hear this like, what?
What? What? And I so he's like, come into the ring. And I'm like, what? Probably again. And, pull my Stone Cold impersonation. What? What? And so go to the ring, walk up steps into the ring. I swear Lawless, you probably have it on video. I think he was the one who somebody yelled, "Step over the ropes." Mm-hmm. And I did not have the appropriate pants to step over the ropes.
That would have been amazing if you did, though.
Yeah, if you straight up pulled the Kevin Nash, I would have
because
so hard.
Because like everybody that doesn't know you in the audience would be like, is she a wrestler? What the hell's going on right now? Where does she come from? So as you're towering over most of the roster as you walk through the ring. So
I know I think that's why the wrestlers were on the outside and I was on the inside, because they knew how much taller I am than everyone else.
Yes.
And but yes, so I did not step over the rope because I knew better.
Mm-hmm.
Step through the ropes, and Marshall starts talking, and I'm just in shock, like, what's happening here? No, I had no clue, obviously. And he starts talking about my cancer journey and everything I'd gone through and fighting cancer and all that. And I'm in tears already, obviously. And he's like, we have something for you. And of course, because of COVID, it's not here yet. Yeah, you can see me cheer.
It was in California, Pennsylvania, right?
We were in Freeport. And so I'm watching you show the video again, which cracks me up because I laughed. I was great. But he's like, we have something for you. And of course, because of COVID, things are not working, quickly as they should be. It should be here. We have a belt, and I am the cancer champion, and
I think it's
cannot
2PW kicking cancer's ass champion.
Yes, and it's permanent. So unless somebody wants to fight me for it, I mean, I might.
Oh my God, Sorg, I think we have another match for our show.
Well, Katie, we were talking about like the only person you think that you can defend it against, right?
Oh yeah. Did you talk about this, or was this just?
No, we didn't mention this yet, but.
Oh gosh.
wait.
So there is. Can we save it?
Go ahead.
No,
if you want to say it, it's up to you. But.
We were talking about the only person that could probably challenge me is Matt Light.
Oh my God! I would want. Jeez.
And you know how he does in the ring on a pay-per-view, so I think he got a good chance here. So,
so if he wants
you would definitely have to step over the top rope for that.
Yeah, you're like twice the size.
Yeah, if he wants it, he can come and get it. I mean,
there you go.
Oh, this is gonna happen.
It has to happen now. I put it into the universe. It's going to happen. Sorry, Matt Light. But yeah, he was like, "This is your belt, and it's amazing. It's purple. I love it. It actually matches my Penguins jersey, so it's a bonus."
Oh, you have to wear them both at work next time.
Yes.
The belt will end up at the arena. You know that, right?
Yes.
You're ready for the Instagram stories of just everybody taking pictures with it? It's gonna be great.
I'm waiting for the picture of you standing on center ice inside PPG, wearing the jersey, holding up the belt.
Yes.
Friends, I need a favor. Yeah, you never know with me. Weirder things have happened. I feel like at this point, but yeah,
I'm definitely tweeting.
I cried. I'm tweeting about my belt.
No, I'm tweeting them right now. Everybody's tagged.
Perfect.
You don't even have the belt in hand yet, and you already have challengers.
I know. This is fine. I'm okay. I'm ready.
Yes.
I feel like it's like a 24/7 belt. Like.
Yes.
You're gonna be defending it like on the front lawn. And
it's fine. Just ignore the neighbors. They're fine.
It's only defended at Sheets. I don't know.
Well, it'll be fun when I take it to Steel City Con. We were talking about I need to set up a table and just sell 8x10s with my belt and just buy them.
Right next to Virgil.
It's fine. Yeah, I need a tablecloth. I need to order a tablecloth.
Honestly, if you did that and did proceeds go into like American Cancer Society or something like that, you'd probably make a killing.
Oh, that'd be great.
You'd probably make a killing.
Would you like to pose with me and my belt? Here you go. Picture. It's $5.
We'll get you a gimmick stand. That'll be great.
We can pull that one. We can tell the picture of you as Zombie Black Canary. We can. You can have a whole thing. So.
Yeah, you pick your 8x10. I can sign it for you.
Absolutely.
Personalized message.
We can alter We can alter like a stuffed animal of Stone Cold Steve Austin and make it Stone Cold Katie Dutters.
No, this was.
I do have.
Good.
A whoop ass bear. I do have a whoop ass bear around here.
Oh no, this is a special moment. Is one of the reasons why we didn't do live switching, because I wanted to make sure we filmed it. No, it was and again, that show began and ended with crying segments, by the way, in the audience, because there was also a proposal at the end of the show. So congratulations also to Will Guy, the referee there with 2PW. She said yes. So no, not Katie, not Katie.
Like...
Katie wasn't proposed to, but his girlfriend.
Congratulations, Katie!
Wow,
yeah.
Such a big night.
So
I opened and closed the show.
There you go. There you go. No.
Hey, you're like Daniel Bryan. It's great.
No, that's awesome. And Katie, of course, I guess watch out for your social media as soon as you get the belt in hand. I'm sure we're going to get a look at it on there. Of course, I know there's a picture. If you're on the audio, there's a video over on Prospect Pro Wrestling site, and it does have a picture that she was shown of the belt. So if you want to see what it looks like, it's pretty awesome. So I can't wait to.
It will make you cry.
It will make you cry. Are you ready for your cry?
FYI.
Yeah, there's a lot of cry stuff before we get into the yelling and challenging stuff on Prospect Pro Wrestling this week. So, and it is part of the show too. Like it is part of the DVD, the VODs and stuff too. So everybody's gonna get like surprise cry segments on the network this month. So, yay! So, Katie, thank you so much for dropping in.
Hey, no problem.
I know you're.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, friends. So I was at the show with, if you know Damien, photographer extraordinaire.
Yes.
I was already like, hey, I'm going to need some photos with the belt.
Yes.
Part of me is convinced, and I think BC would appreciate this most of anyone. I really think I want to see if I can do a senior picture with my jersey over a chair and my belt next to it, and I'm just like staring.
8x10s.
Patented Sears look off in another direction photo.
Like the one where it's like, but is it going to be the one where it's like the double photo, like that's faded all over
I was
each
gonna
other?
say we should also get one of you looking off into the distance, and then it's another picture of your face looking down. Like,
well, there's one of those. Matt, speaking of Matt Light, he did one with his cat. Remember? So,
Oh, I'm gonna do one with my belt, and I'll be like, "Oh, you got a cat, I got a belt."
There you go. There you go. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Katie. Where can people catch up with you to see when those pics pop up?
On Instagram, I'm Kate Marie PGH. On Twitter, I'm Kate Utters, and I think I don't remember my name on Facebook. Just look up Katie Dudas on Facebook. You'll find me.
Thank you so much. Hey, we're going to give a shout out to somebody else that's been super helpful with the show. We've had guests in studio, and a little bit of the pizza party's back, and like I said, we're fully vaxxed in the studio, so we're going to be letting a few more guests here over the next month. I think we're going to start opening the doors a little bit here in May. But want to give a shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway, sliceonbroadway.com. New York City style yins are made. 4 locations here in the Pittsburgh area. So if you're in the area, they're making faces on the Zoom call. Let me get through this ad read. They'll go check them out. 4 locations. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, they've been supporting Pittsburgh podcasting for a good long time between this and the Awesome Cast, and helping our and we'll be helping our future pizza party nights of Tuesday nights, so that everybody is energized, fed, and full of pepperoni. We're gonna go check out these other things going on with the Sorgatron Media Wrestling Mayhem Show Network, and we'll be right back with our homework for the week. We'll be right back.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot, for an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth, and I'm in, yeah, I fight for referee breath.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning, and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
Welcome back to the Wrestling Mayhem show. And Mike, did you have something to say?
I did. But before the lovely Dutters graced our screen and rescued this podcast from the terrible depths, I'm gonna bring us back down.
Oh no! Oh no!
BC, you mentioned that Angels in the Outfield is the most star-studded cast you've ever seen of an underrated movie.
Absolutely.
I present to you Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh,
Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ethan Embry, Lauren Ambrose, Pierre Facinelli, Seth Green, fucking Sean Patrick Thomas, Freddie Rodriguez, like the list. Donald Faison, Jamie Presley, Jennifer Lyons. She's been in a bunch of stuff. Let's see, Jason
my
Segel,
doppelganger.
Jason Segel, for Christ's sake, Clea Duvall. We got Selma Blair, we got Sarah Rue, we got fucking where is he?
Chris Owen, Shermanator.
Chris Owen, Jenna Elfman, Melissa Joan Hart, for fuck's sake. I mean, my God. Breckin Meyer, Jerry O'Connell. Like, come on.
Wow.
Okay. I have not said this, but maybe 3 times in my life. I might be wrong.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And honestly, that was just me doing a cursory glance of people who have appeared live action in movies. Because if you want to go underrated, like, voice casting, Small Soldiers has you in spades.
Wow.
Well, there is a movie that I'm thinking, but a lot of the people in the movie probably aren't household names, but it is star-studded. But story for another time.
Absolutely.
That might be a gold story.
I also will bring in consideration to Empire Records. But anyways, it's time to get into our homework.
Nice.
By the way,
call.
my birthday is Rex Manning Day. And that's the best fact about it. I love it.
Oh, man.
And on that note, Sorg, I guess we'll say no more.
Damn it. Let's talk about let's say more about the homework, which all of us completely dived into this week.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the match.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I bought the pay-per-view.
Back in 2007.
I'm pretty sure I watched this pay-per-view at my buddy Justin's house.
TNA. That's not somebody that's in AEW now, is it? No, that's the other guy.
As far as I know.
As far as you know. Who knows anymore, right?
Hey, who knows what Justin's up to these days?
I don't know if there's a joke I'm missing or...
Justin TV, Sorg. You remember?
Oh, right.
Justin's house.
I think we're broadcasting from Justin's house, actually, now. Yeah. If you track that lineage. So
yeah, Justin's house is the Thunderdome.
Yeah, it's the Thunderdome. Yeah, it kind of is, right? But the homework, we go all the way back to TNA Wrestling Genesis 2000. Let me say the thing, Mike.
Sorry.
Genesis. Not all of us have a groan-worthy reaction to this match. These are fine. These are fond memories, especially of the early days of this very show. We were
Sorg,
all about what was happening. What?
Have you heard of Pavlov's dog? Pavlov's dog?
Oh, that's where the groans come in.
That's where the groan. It's
that's right.
It's instinctual. I'm sorry, I can't control.
I know. We've had very different.
It's Tianerets.
We've had very different personal interactions with Impact Wrestling. I get it.
Yes, we have.
I get it. But anyways, aside from that, trying to put aside the point where Mad Mike has been blocked by Impact Wrestling for years. So it was Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle. The first meeting. Samoa Joe is coming off of, I think they say, 17 months of being undefeated.
Yep.
This is the big one. Angle came over. Of course, disclaimer, Angle was let go from WWE for his pill problem. But
amongst other things.
So, but you can't whether he should or shouldn't have is another discussion. But he was still putting away killer matches in TNA Wrestling, especially in the early days here with Samoa Joe. This was the come up. This is the discovery of Samoa Joe for a lot of us over these couple of years with TNA Wrestling. So BC, I know you fresh. You said you watched this twice, I think, right?
Yeah, I
this
watched
week.
it Friday and actually watched a little bit of it today.
Yeah. So, I mean, what were your first impressions on this one?
My first impressions were that is how you build a match leading up to it. You have a guy who is a known superstar putting on amazing matches, is over. People want to see him. They're excited about him in Kurt Angle. And then you have a guy that just hasn't lost. So the question is, who's going to win? And even if you think you know who's going to win, how are they going to win? Where is this going to go? And the match, I mean, it opens up early on. Joe's got Angle on the outside. He's beating him down. He busts him open. So it sets the tone that, if this is your first time watching this, we've told you Samoa Joe is undefeated. We've shown you now that Samoa Joe is a badass who has Kurt Angle down early on. And then as the match goes through, Angle gets a little bit of a comeback. Joe takes over. A little bit more, Joe takes over. And then even in the end where he does tap out, which is important because somebody has to tap out eventually. That's how you make finishes, and submissions mean something. But Joe doesn't lose anything. Joe doesn't lose any points. It's his first loss. He immediately wants a rematch. So he's not, cowering in fear or what have you. And I would say that reminds me of what TNA was that during that period of, I don't know, 4 or 5. It could be 4 years. It could be 8 years. I don't know the time frame, but amazing matches, really, really good, simple booking. And then there is the opposite end of that where you're like WTF, which I'm sure Mike, if you haven't seen Mad Mike and Shirley Doe reviews of Impact, you should, because it brings back some memories and some twitches and PTSD perhaps. But that is a snapshot of when TNA was like, wow, these guys are firing on not all cylinders, but at least a cylinder that is kind of hard to beat.
Yeah.
Because I don't think WWE was putting that out at that time.
No,
I can't think of it.
TNA was like a car in the Fast and Furious. Normally, it's just a normal car that goes at a fairly high velocity. Occasionally, they hit the NOS. And the NOS is like your Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Your Ultimate X matches, your Angle, Daniels, and Joe match. Like,
Right.
occasionally they hit the NOS at that point. But need I remind you, the match that happened right before this one, Abyss won the world title on a disqualification. So, give and take.
Yeah. Oh, certainly.
Give and take.
And also, well, remember at the time, I think we're talking, mid 2000s ruthless aggression WWE, and I'm sure the complaint about WWE at the time was too much John Cena rolling into PG era. Although they were just doing Rated R Superstar Live Sex Celebration probably the same month this happened.
Yep.
So remember that. So they hadn't.
But
they hadn't
the
fully.
internet's always right. So it was all PG.
What?
The internet's always right, so it was all PG.
Okay.
Except for the time we saw Lita's boob.
Yes. So
Except for that.
but they were rolling into like Raw and SmackDown had been set as that formula, and maybe nothing tremendously exciting was happening there in comparison. I mean, maybe akin to what's happening today. Although I feel like today is duller, maybe because we're in it. I don't know. But TNA was truly doing the alternative, bringing in the guys that we were excited about, and we would, Lunchbox on the show was like, if you heard about the Samoa Joe guy in Ring of Honor and AJ Styles and all these kinds of things, so we were being introduced to these things, and it was the next generation. Obviously, all these guys practically have had WWE careers and championships, since, for the most part. Especially AJ Styles, Joe, etc. But this is peak. This is like this is the match when I say about like what was great about mid 2000s TNA. Like this is it. Like this is the pinnacle of that. And even at the time, I think Genesis the year before. Oh, I'm sorry, this is November, so this is later in the year than I'm thinking.
You would think Genesis would be at the start of the year,
right?
But it is TNA.
I think it's called Turning Point. Is the one at the beginning of the year for some reason. But that's right. They were all Genesis songs and Phil Collins songs, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget.
TNA's Hungry Like the Wolf.
TNA presents Susu Studio.
Yes. So
to be fair, if TNA did Susu Studio and they used the Dexter Lumis, what was the name in TNA?
Sebastian Shaw? No. Something Shaw, right?
Yes, Sebastian Shaw. You're right.
Sam Shaw.
Sam
Shaw.
Shaw. Sebastian Shaw
If they
plays
used him
Winter.
for Susu Studio promos, I'd be in.
Sebastian Shaw is the one that plays Winter Soldier, I believe. So
This is Susudio. Like he just says it while Christy Hemi's sitting in the chair. Oh boy. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, this match was good. It's a very good match. It's Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. Watching this match in a vacuum is absolutely fine. I remember watching this live and was afraid I was going to see a man die in the ring.
Okay.
Because it's Kurt Angle.
Okay.
And WWE had just let Kurt Angle go to rehab, to work on his problems, and to heal himself. And this is also vintage TNA. They took advantage of that and signed him immediately and put him in a main event match.
Right. The thing that maybe you shouldn't be doing if you're trying to deal with the problems that have been led to from your professional wrestling career. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you give and take. It's much easier to watch this match back in a vacuum now, knowing both guys are okay. But to watch this one live, I was not a fan of it live because it wasn't anything about the program, wasn't anything about the booking, wasn't anything about any of that. It was just I didn't want to see Kurt Angle on my TV because I was afraid he was going to die in the ring. Like.
It was definitely you shouldn't be in here, but God, you're delivering some fantastic matches. I remember was the conflict when we were watching.
It
and
wasn't a conflict for me. It was a conflict for you.
Oh, okay. Well, I
think that could be said just from a lot of talent over the years.
Yeah.
Especially further back when it was the whole we have to go, we have to do this, and
right.
Screw tomorrow. It's about today.
I mean, there is a little bit like you do understand that professional wrestling isn't the safest activity to make a profession out of. Like I worry about everybody, right, Ronnie? So I mean, I mean, I have a presumption that half the people I see have some sort of issue that maybe they shouldn't be in there at this point. So like that, that's professional wrestling, unfortunately, right? So, but anyways, aside from that, Ronnie, what were your thoughts on this match? Your memories of it?
My memories of it, I remember when Kurt Angle came in. I remember when Samoa Joe headbutted the shit out of him. It was the go home show before the actual match. So he headbutts the shit out of him, busts his head open, and they brawl. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. Kurt Angle's here, and this is the time where I was like, well, early 2000s. Like, what year was that?
This was 2006.
November 2006.
November 2006.
Okay, so this was a year before I actually started training in wrestling. So I was still, still fucking Mark. So I was like, I'm like, this is great. So I never had the concept of like, oh, Kurt Angle's fucked up. I never thought of that. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, they're gonna put on great matches. It's fantastic. I remember it was a great match. I don't know why I thought Samoa Joe won, but I guess
because maybe he should have.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, you can make that argument.
Well, we were leading into a good, I think, trilogy of matches that was pretty fantastic, and I mean the feud overall I thought was tremendous.
But Kurt Angle made Kurt Angle tap out, so it was a good match.
I was half right.
We have some comments actually over on the YouTube. Antonio Garza of the WrestlingRevolution.com. First of all, you lost me at Seth Greene from earlier. TNA
he's still a celebrity.
TNA best promotion ever, second to AGPW.
Oh, Garza.
Crazy that a promotion
first
TNA.
Of all right, so
is he trolling you right now?
Real
Crazy that a promotion TNA turned into Impact and got even better.
Real talk about me for a second. I had today off. I spent the day at my mom's waiting for something to be installed because she needs a little help around the house. They canceled the installation. So do you know what I did all day, Sorg? I put together furniture, and I just straight up watched season 1 of Lucha Underground.
Okay, all right.
Like I watched about 10 episodes of Lucha Underground while I was putting things together and fixing stuff around. the house.
Right.
Holy shit, that show is good.
Yes.
And I'll save what I learned for
Okay.
when we get to that.
Garza has a lot actually over on the YouTube page.
Of course
He's got a lot. Joe Verzango was like a perfect storm. Everything coming together naturally and making history. A car in the Fast and Furious. You mean stealing the show all the time? I agree with Mike.
Garza, come to Facebook and say that shit to my face, right?
That's right. Like, what are you doing on YouTube over there?
Yeah, what are you doing on YouTube, you fucking hipster?
Oh no, hipster! Come on. I mean, it was the most PG sex scene I've ever seen. Simba and Nala doing it in the jungle was way more hardcore.
Hold on. Nala's fuck me eyes are the raunchiest thing this side of the chick from the Goofy movie.
Okay.
Ronnie knows what I'm talking about.
Oh God. I can see it in my mind.
There's an interpretation. It's not about the program or the booking. It's just TNA I didn't want to watch. Mike probably 2021.
Dude, I loved early TNA.
He says at the end, oh shit, they noticed I got a bail.
Oh, Garza, please come on the show. Come back on the show, Garza.
Garza, you're welcome. Drop me a DM.
Garza.
We will get you in.
Bring it.
I mean,
don't sing it. Bring it.
Garza, you can bring your Mighty Ducks jersey, and then you guys can hash it out.
I need to buy a Mighty Ducks jersey now.
No, Antonio Garza is the Luis Mendoza of this podcast, and that's not because he goes one speed and doesn't know how to stop.
And he's always looking up girls' skirts.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna throw that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's a friend. It's friend of the show. Friend of the show.
Let's be fair. That's probably Ronnie. No.
Whoa.
Ronnie is the
Ronnie's the guy who keeps trying to swipe up on Tinder.
How is Bumble going, by the way?
Bumble is it's a thing.
I've been trying to give Ronnie tips.
Yeah,
I assume that's a dating app.
It is. I've joined the Water for Water dating apps.
Sweet.
And I sent Mike there was one girl who looked like she'd been storing nuts in her cheeks all winter. I'll send you the picture. No, dude, you'll be like, what the fuck?
Like actively, like that's not like okay. I'm not getting into that.
We're not getting.
That's not that podcast. Okay.
Wrestling Mayhem show.
And Tina says, "Thank heavens for earbuds."
I feel good, and we didn't even talk about Peacock tonight. So I mean, that's really tame for us.
Gotta let it fly, man.
Yeah, gotta let it fly. They still have not added Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling that I requested last night on Twitter. So I'll keep you guys updated.
Oh, by the way, all right. So I know we spent the first long bit of this show talking about the releases and stuff that WWE has done.
Right.
For all of their creative missteps, and believe me, they have plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the smartest decisions they've done in the past 5 years is to pair Caleb Braxton with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, you've been talking about this. Yeah.
Holy shit. They work so well together on Talking Smack. Like, I don't know what their relationship off camera is like, but they have such an amazing rapport with each other. And I think it's like Renee Young would have done great as well. Absolutely. But Renee always had a lot more connection to the superstars themselves, whereas Kayla kind of maintains that isolation factor, and they just play off each other so amazingly well. Like the amount of star-making moments they've had on Talking Smack just in the past 6 months is unreal.
Yeah, they're making a lot of stars right before they leave. So.
Well, no, I'm talking guys like Apollo Crews.
Right, for sure.
You told me 3 months ago that Apollo Crews would make me legitimately excited for him based on a Talking Smack promo,
right.
I would have said you were in.
Yeah, and the Big E stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm thinking Peyton Royce over on the Raw Talk, which is also doing some good stuff.
I don't watch Raw.
It's not. I mean, the moments aren't as poignant as what happens on Smack Talk. Smack Talk? Talk Smack. It's Talking Smack.
And Tina's chiming in. Paul's pep talk with Bianca in this last episode just wow. And yeah.
Paul Heyman is the MVP, early MVP of, well, I guess MVP of end of 2020 and early 2021. It's either him or MVP.
Yeah.
But they still have him around doing stuff and influencing. I mean, the good that has happened to WWE is cheerleaded by Paul Heyman for sure. And if there's anybody that is a voice that gets it, it's him that is pushing stuff. And I feel like we forget that Paul Heyman is like in our minds. I feel like maybe it's just me, but I still feel like Paul Heyman is ECW Paul Heyman, like always. And you forget that this guy has been employed by the WWE, like I don't want to say consistently, but more or less for the last 20 years, right?
Yeah. Even longer than that if you consider how much like WWE had involvement with ECW.
Right. And I don't know if this is a keep your enemies closer kind of thing because, you know, geez, I'd love to see what he would do if he got dropped into like, you know, any of the other three major American feds.
But see, the thing is, Paul Heyman would have to have complete control.
Right.
I feel like that would be
okay. So here's the thing, and we've talked about before in this show, like Paul Heyman having complete control is ECW, but also Paul Heyman had control of the business side too, and that's a problem. We need somebody like what if you had not Tony Khan, but a Tony Khan like individual, and said, Paul Heyman, here's the keys.
Paul Heyman did an interview once and was asked about why, being with WWE and all that. And he said Vince would rather have him in the house pissing out of the window than outside the house pissing in through the window.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So it's kind of like that. And I know he met with TNA. He said this in an interview too. I am your source for all things Paul Heyman. You may contact me at BC Steal Your Girl on Twitter. But he had done an interview with Ariel Helwani, and this is right after Brock Lesnar came back from diverticulitis. And he ended up saying that he had met with TNA and they talked about a vision, but they didn't know what their vision was. They knew what they wanted to do, but they had no idea what their vision was. He kind of laid out his vision, and it was not what TNA had done at that time. So I know that was an option, and I know he kind of wanted like a stock and network play so he could do something on the TV network that they were dealing with, have an investment in the company, but not handle the business side at all, which, I mean, I get why they didn't do it, but considering their alternative, maybe one of us wouldn't have been blocked on Twitter if that would have happened.
Maybe. So
I doubt it because I never said anything about them on my
No. It's a really weird situation actually.
So you were collateral damage then of just them going.
Amazing. It's amazing he didn't get Mayhem Show blocked by them.
Yep, Mayhem Show's not blocked.
Because that's where he was spouting about them.
I would live tweet Impact.
Yeah,
and tweet Impact from the Mayhem Show.
You really had to know what was going on to know he was the problem to get blocked.
Yeah.
Well, it's a known fact that if you don't like the reverse battle royal, then you are not worthy of Twitterdom.
No, there you go. There you go. Tina's saying, dude, he's been in the business for close to 40 years. Territories, AWA, WCW days. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the giant telephone.
Even if you go back further, like when he would take pictures for Vince Sr.
Yep.
Like that's a real thing, and he talks about it on the WWE DVD he did.
Yep. Good stuff.
And is there anybody else who's worked with almost literally every big name in the last 30, 40 years?
Vince. I mean, Vince, Bischoff, Paul. That's probably the list.
And Heyman in so many different roles as boss, booker,
talent,
on-air talent.
Yeah, and like the only reason Bischoff's on that list was because Vince brought him in.
I mean, is the closest fuck. Michael Hayes has been around forever.
Yeah.
Dude.
But Michael Hayes, I guess because he was in WCW and NWA for a while.
Yeah. So I mean, he's been with obviously with WWEF since like the mid '90s. But
I mean, I guess you throw in Arn Anderson too.
Yeah, I mean
Arn Anderson. Yeah.
No, absolutely, and that's why that's why I have I feel like there's so much promise with AEW because there is so much strong backstage influence and minds that are like open to the new stuff, but also like you gotta make sure you got some of this old school. We didn't get to talk about it much, but I did finish the Jericho interview. Again, reminds me why I've always been such a big fan of Chris Jericho. But he says exactly what kind of suspect is happening with AEW. Remember I talk about party. We've argued about Private Party ain't ready, right? To be on the main champs and stuff like that. But it's like half these guys didn't know what hard cam was. You know what I mean? Like, and that's something that we're trying to teach that freaking 2PW and feds on this level. And these guys have been like indie darlings, get signed by AEW, and they don't know how to work a hard cam, like things like that. Although, other interesting thing in BC, did you catch this part where Chris Jericho never heard the term bump and feed until WWE?
Yeah,
like that was interesting.
Well, that's like when he started, early 90s, early like 90, maybe late 80s. I'm sure it
was like 1989, I think, when he got his start.
Around that time, a lot of it was kind of learn as you go. Like, hey, here's the basics, but we're not going to smarten you up until you kind of start figuring stuff out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've heard some guys say, oh, I thought it was a shoot until I got in the ring and the guy grabbed me. And I'm like, I don't know if that's how it was, but I know that it was a lot less preparation when he first started, which is weird to not, even now when I hear the Jericho story about guys not knowing hard cam, that's something that I've heard since, I don't even know. But
yeah,
that's a scary thing that you're on national TV and that's like a learning process. Although I will say in AEW's defense, they do have a lot of people on the show. I think 72 was the one number. And that's hard because if you have 72 flavors of ice cream, how are you going to find the one that you actually like?
That's true.
At least I'm seeing guys improve. The guys and girls seem to be at least progressing in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a benefit.
Sorry, even this enhancement talent that comes in for a cup of coffee for a couple of weeks of dark or something, like that's got to be an education for them too, to be on a production on that level. So, Mike, you have complained about my picks the last several weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a homework for this week?
You know what?
If not, I do.
I'll pick one for next week because I'm gonna pick a Lucha Underground match. I need to see which ones are available online.
Okay. Are you? So do you need to wait till next week?
I'm looking. You know what? Fuck it. I just typed in Lucha Underground to YouTube, found the first thing: Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr.
Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr. Is there an episode for that? We'll find the episode for it, right?
Yeah, I'll
link it.
I'm gonna post the link in the chat room. It's the full match. It's Puma and Pentagon. Like,
okay,
you know what you're getting.
We'll
you know what you're getting, and you're gonna like what you get.
Yes, you are. And also, it's available on Tubi TV for free. As well.
I highly recommend, instead of watching Raw, go to Tubi.tv and watch 3 hours of Lucha Underground.
Or do like I did and just bought all the seasons as they came out, so I could watch them when I could. And you kind of send a signal of like, hey, this is worth me giving money to, because the more, and then also
that's still available
on iTunes.
Oh no, I was gonna buy them on DVD because
I don't know. Did they ever do a DVD release? I can't recall if they have.
I'm sure you could get like bootleg copies.
You get it off of deep discount DVDs or something, right? So
breaking news from the tweeter: Matt Light accepts Katie's challenge.
Oh, fantastic!
I don't know why the Rocky theme is appropriate.
They're trading montages, man. That's what they have to do.
Oh, jeez. Oh boy.
He just said, "I love Katie. What's the challenge?"
Yes.
And I responded, "Let them fight." Let them fight.
Anyways, he has fight experience, and she can step over the ropes. This is gonna be tremendous. So, what did you guys learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that Lucha Underground is not immune to the really funny irony in hindsight. So I was watching a submission match between Pentagon Jr. and Sexy Star. And the whole commentary on the match was that Pentagon was trying to legitimately hurt other people in the ring, and Vampiro saying that's really bad. And turns out, maybe it's the reverse. Maybe one of them is really safe in the ring, and the other one is kind of a dick. I just I couldn't get over the commentary. I couldn't, because that's all they were talking about. And Vampiro was like, "Yeah, you don't come back from trying to really take away someone's livelihood." I'm like, "Yeah, you really don't, do you?"
Wow. BC, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned wrestling evolved. I saw a quote a while back about guys in AEW go too fast and don't sell, which if you've ever seen the Young Bucks, that's not the case. And I see it a lot from veterans. So I will say as nicely as I possibly can, as a guy that grew up on Shawn Michaels, who went too fast by many accounts, who saw more of the Midnight Express than I can put into words, two guys that went too fast, and seeing interviews from Lou Thez that talked about how how Ric Flair went way too fast and how his era was better and how that continues to happen. I learned that wrestling evolves, and I think the faster that people learn, one, that it evolves, two, that if you don't keep up with it, it will pass you by, and three, how I talked about ice cream earlier, to use the same analogy, there are a lot of different flavors of ice cream, and just because you don't like chocolate, you probably shouldn't spend so much time telling people why you don't like chocolate and focus more on telling people why you like vanilla or Rocky Road or cotton candy chocolate chip or what have you. So yeah, I learned people shouldn't be dicks.
I learned we'll see how it all works out. Last night on the show. Good discussion from Monday Night Show. I'll leave you guys to listen to the end of that, or I guess it was most of that. Ronnie Starks, what did...
sorry, BC, would you say that wrestling fans are worried about the Fast and the Furious?
Actually, it seems to me that people that are in the wrestling business that should know better are usually the ones that are more concerned about complaining about the Fast and Furious. And they're also concerned about I thought I had another Fast and Furious reference.
It's a regular weird. Tokyo Drift, man.
Now you're just being ludicrous.
I've been saving that for like an hour now.
This is a deep cut, and if anybody gets this, tag me on Twitter. But Ronnie Starks, how are you gonna act like that? God, I hope some. Mad Mike, you have to get that reference.
That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm laughing.
I love you, Beast.
Ronnie Starks, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I believe Charlotte believes her own hype.
She do to you?
She's out there looking like a bedazzled Matt Riddle.
Yeah, she's out of control right now.
Wow.
I made BC blur through his own background. That's how you know you get someone, when they fade away into their own digital background.
He faded away and classified himself as
obsolete.
No, but seriously, I really didn't learn anything this week at all.
And neither did WWE.
Oh, wow. Mad Mike, what'd you learn?
I already said what I learned.
Oh, you did? Listen, man.
I think we covered everybody.
Listen, man.
Yeah, I started it off.
This shot's starting to hit me right now. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Sorg's about to go night-night.
I'm about
What time is it?
I gotta try to stay up in there a couple hours and finish editing the show. So.
Oh, Sorg.
Oh, these edits are gonna be awesome.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
God.
The show's usually not a problem, but if you see the show notes and they don't make any sense, or I just copy posted last week and just said fuck it, just saying.
It's fine.
It's just going to be fuck it in big capital letters.
Sorg, just put in the show notes, I'm suffering from shot 2. You'll get show notes next week.
Yeah, seriously. To each their own. It's just
show notes. Luis Mendoza sucks.
I might just make the cover art that sticker that Hammerfist is sending me, and just call it a night. Garza did not run away from the YouTube, and he learned that he can comment on YouTube with no competition. Also, come and drop a like, subscribe, and a bell. Also, Rebellion this weekend. Check it out. There you go. So.
God, all right, you know what?
Rebellion has
I
not.
normally have the Facebook open.
Yeah.
Next week I'm gonna have to have.
I'm telling you, we got a multi.
Like,
we need to assign. Each of us gets a thing. Sooner or later, people are going to start giving more than come be famous on Twitch, and we'll have to pay attention there too. Riz didn't even pop in and drop Kali emoticons.
Yeah, what the fuck, Riz?
So he's
I'm
busy.
trying to get TikTok famous over here, guys.
That's right. That's right. We do have a TikTok for Wrestling Mayhem show now, by the way.
I know you followed me.
I followed you. Yes, I followed you. I'm worried about everybody else I didn't follow, Ronnie. I know you're good. So, it's the stuff you've been seeing on my account. I'm just dedicating it over there. So, so please give a follow over there if you would like to, and follow all the other places. BC Steele.
That is me.
Where can people find BC Steele things?
Well, speaking of TikTok and Instagram, same name, BC_Steele. On TikTok, I rant about Nelly, talking about manicured toes. I sing, I dance, I put you in a trance. Sometimes I do it without my pants. That's not on Instagram. On Twitter.
That's a lot of layered references.
On Twitter, once again, thank you to Dutters. BC Steele, yo girl. That is yo as in Y-O. I am on the Facebook. Search BC Steele. There's an E on the end. And if you want to talk about why famous pitcher Mel Clark, the California Angels of 1994, should be in the Hall of Fame, I am RIP Mel Clark. And hopefully you get that reference too. I am more than happy to do that. There will be many more sport movies covered by Mad Mike and I. We will get into the Air Bud movies in short order.
Oh boy,
I need to watch them.
Apparently, okay, but we didn't have BC on the Monday night show where we talk about not wrestling more. So that needs to happen, perhaps. So if you're good with late night Mondays, BC, and have an opinion about some movie, let us know.
BC, have you seen the Snyder Cut?
I have not.
All right.
Oh, BC, please do me a favor. Watch the Snyder Cut, then come on Monday's show.
Yes.
And just tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Well, I need a few shots first, not shots like vaccination.
Maybe
it depends on if shots either improve or hinder your ability to stay awake during a 4-hour movie.
You might need a 5-hour energy.
Depends on what the shots are of.
Fair enough. Okay. I'll leave that to your discretion.
Alrighty. And Ronnie Starks is the Grizzled Toy Vet over on Twitter.
You can find me in the outfield with the Angels.
You're just like Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
And, all right. And you can find me on the Twitter at Grizzled Toy Vet. Right. You can find me on the Instagram, the Ronnie Starks. You can find me on the Facebook. And that's pretty much it.
You'll do things. Mad Mike 483.
You can find me in Bubble too.
And Bubble,
ladies.
yes, look him up, ladies. Also, Mad Mike 483 on the Twitter.
Yeah, you can find me in my treehouse, educating people on the wonder that is s'mores, and using erector sets to try and get a ball that was signed by some girl named Baby Ruth. From the Beast.
Garza's saying in the chat, you do not just tell someone to watch Snyder Cut. You got to schedule a month in advance.
No, that's what I just want to tell them to watch it.
Yeah.
just go.
Straight,
no chaser.
That's like, here, ride this roller coaster you haven't seen yet.
For 4 hours.
For 4 hours.
Wait, Mad Mike, when you were trying to get that ball back, were you impressed by how fast Luis Mendoza could steal home?
Excuse me. That is Benny the Jet Rodriguez. All right.
Yeah, that's his twin brother.
I can't do this again. I can't do this
no.
again. I can't do this again. Next week, we are scheduled to have Remy LeVay on the show, I believe, in person.
Legends get remembered, but podcasts never die, Steele. All right.
On that note, I think we got to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, before I fall over. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Mayhem out. Cue things.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.